Again, if you are watching this webinar with others, please add their name to the chat box. I see Monica has done that already. Thank you, Monica Moore. If anybody else is watching with you, add their name, the school system name, and the school name. Thank you, you got it.
All right. I don't know that I'm recording the session yet, so
Yours is like mine, probably.
Yes, I'm not seeing record yet. However, I'm on my desktop. I'm recording the audio on my computer, it looks like. All right. Seeing on my desktop right now is Room. This is what it looks like after you have created classes. I would love to show you what it looks like before you ever start Google Classroom. However, because I can't go back there. When you first go to Google Classroom, first of all, you have to be a Google Apps for Education system, which means that they have Google Apps for Education set up for you. And when you log in with that account in Google, then you go to classroom.google.com. It automatically recognizes the login as a Google Apps for Education login. First thing you'll do is you'll have to scroll down just a little bit. It usually falls below the bottom of the screen, but you'll have to tell Google Classroom whether you are a student or a teacher. And when you get to that point, the plus sign up here in the top right corner, and be add or join classes here. That's your privilege as a teacher is to create a class. Students do not have that option. They only have the option to join a class. To create a class, it is very simple, as you just click on the plus and create a class, and you give it a name. So I'm going to create a tester classroom. Google Classroom Tester. You do not have to give it a section, but what that is for is if you have in your student schedules, if you have 3 classes of biology and you want to call it Biology 101 or A or whatever it is, and you give a section number so that you can distinguish which section it is. And to do that, you'll click Create. And I now have a brand new class. And up at top, you can select a different theme if you want to, because this will be the theme that all of your students will see. I can click over here on the right side, select theme, and they have some to choose from. And some of them don't make sense to me, but some of them are pretty cool looking. And depending on what you're teaching, you may decide if it's biology, you might want an insect or a butterfly or whatever. If it's history, you can choose the American flag. So there are themes from which you can choose that to your class. This would be appropriate for an art class, I would think. There are 3 sections, 3 main sections here on your class. You have a stream, which if you're using Facebook or Edmodo, you will be very familiar with this. This is where the action takes place. Anytime you post anything, whether an assignment or an announcement or a link, it will show up on the stream. The other division here is the students. And because I don't have any students, you can see that there are none listed here. I just created the class. I'm going to go back to a class in just a minute that actually has students in it. But I want to show you what a brand new classroom would look like. Now, notice that it's to invite students or give them this code to join. Well, this code right here is where they would put it in at the beginning when we saw the plus sign to join a class or create a class. This is where you would give them this code. It's a unique code for that class only. And when you give them that code, all they have to do is join the class and put that code Now, I would love to have you to join my class today. However, because I'm using one of my systems, Google Apps for Education accounts, you have to be in that system in order to join. So that's not going to work for us today. But I appreciate them allowing me to use this. So the part is called the Out section, and it's about the class. Room, Google Chrome tester folder. Now, what happens every time you create a class, Google Classroom automatically creates a folder for that class in your Google Drive. The Google Drive you're logged in with. And the other thing that it also does is it creates a classroom calendar. Now, if students that have multiple Google Apps for Education classes where, say, 5 teachers and 5 of them use Google Classroom, when the students go to view their calendar, it will have a week view, and it will have everything that's due for all 5 classes on that calendar, color-coded and everything. It's really nice. Helps the kids keep up with what's coming up and dates for assignments. Here you can choose to view in the classroom or open it in Google Calendar. Most teachers choose view in classroom just to keep the kids in one place. Now, this little section down here at the bottom is really nice. Section is where you would post things for the year. Things kids would want to see for the entire year. So I go in here and I click, and it wants to know a title here. The title might be my syllabus. It could be a video. So let me just show you the 4 different things that you can add here, or more. You can add multiples of these, but digital things you can add. First of all, if I wanted to add my syllabus, I could click on the gem clip and upload a file to attach. That is something I saw on my computer. It's not in Google Drive, and I want to make that accessible to them all year long. It could be a PDF of your syllabus or a PDF of the school year calendar from the system. The other thing you can add is attach a Google Drive item. That means anything that's in your Google Drive account. And something that some people don't realize is that when you have a Google Apps for Education account, that particular drive is unlimited storage, which means it's not only for your Google Docs, slides, presentations, spreadsheets, forms, and all that. It can be a place where you can save pictures, videos, anything like that. So it doesn't have to just be what you have created in Google Drive. The other thing is you can attach a YouTube video. And you just have, when you click that though, you need to make sure that you have the link from the YouTube page where the video is to paste in here. Because when you click on it, it wants to know you can search for it, or you can put the URL for it. So I want to search in here for Google Chrome and search searches, and then I could choose one of these. Google Classroom for Teachers. I want to show you other thing too. Make sure you pay attention to the date. What is Tech Help with Deep? I don't know what that is, but it has something to do with Google Chrome, and it is February 19, 2016. And the reason I say this is if you look here, this is from September 1st, 2014, where there have been updates to Google Classroom since then, and you want to make sure you're getting the latest one that you can find when you're looking at Google Classroom and things that are changing constantly. That's how you can choose to add a click on that, and you'll see it links it right inside your post. The other thing you can do is just to attach a link. Send you a link to, let's say, Google Doc that I created with Classroom Help links in it. I could attach a link and send it out to my students. So that is that's the basics of a classroom as far as what you see when you first create a class. Now, any questions so far?
Yeah, questions in the chat area.
Because I didn't have that open where I could see it. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my classes. The three bars in the top left corner are where you can click and go to your classes, your calendar. There are some classes that I'm teaching, and I'll take you into a high school class that I have been using with some high school teachers for professional development. In my school systems that have Google Apps for Education, whenever I go and conduct professional development, I use Google Classroom to class with, because then I can go in here and add resources for them, and it will be for their classes, just for the ones that are attending. So if you were to want to join this class and were part of the Chilton County Google Education, I would give you this link. So that link can stay there. Now I can also reset the link and disable the link. After the school year starts, you might want to disable the link, because otherwise you might have students that are just joining the class just because they can, and you might not even notice it until you turn around to do some grading. So you can disable that link, and no one will be able to join after all the students are in. Now, over on the stream, I want you to see that, move that out of the way. The bottom right corner is this big red plus sign. Well, it's red because of that's my theme. It's still a big plus sign in the bottom right corner. If as a teacher you touch that or click on it, you'll see that you have 4 different things that you can add to the stream. Different things are, right here, I can create an announcement. Announcements are usually used for, you got it, announcements. How clever was that? So just say that you've got a test coming up on Friday, you want to throw that announcement out there, and there it is. Also use the announcement, though, if I want to give a link to a class, so that I'm actually grading it. It's not a question or an assignment. It's just, here is something that might help you. For instance, in this particular class, I made an announcement and said, hey, here's some Google cheat sheets for Google Drive. There's some, click on that link. Any of you add an announcement, it looks just like it did on the other page, on the About page, where you could add your syllabus and other things. But this goes in the stream. The other one does not. It remains static on the About page. I have choice here to put a link to upload a file, a Drive, a document, or something out of Drive, and a YouTube video, and just a link, maybe to a website. Here is where I get to choose which class I want to apply this to. So let's say you have 5 biology classes. Well, in that case, you might want to check the box for all 5 classes so that everybody in your list gets this announcement. That means you don't have to create an announcement 5 different times. You just do it once and send it out to all classes. I think that's pretty cool. So that would be an announcement. Mostly I use this for links, and then just to say, hey, I'll be there to see y'all on such date. Make sure you come by and see me. The other things you can add here are, and I'm going to come back to this one. I also create questions. Let's say that all your kids have devices. You do a poll for your class, and they have multiple choice questions that you can add. So you can choose here. I choose short answer or multiple choice. I'll use a due date. And when I use a due date, I can go in here and choose it's by Friday. And I can actually add a time to it if I want to. And that they have it, the deadline is a specific cutoff. Now I have it here where students can reply to each other. In some situations, you may not want that to happen. about the question. Some situations that might be the goal. For completion, I would think it would be the goal. For a question that you're checking for understanding from an individual student and you don't want anyone else to comment on it, you turn that off. You can also turn off and on whether or not students can edit their answers. If you complete all this, you just click Ask, and it asks the question. Now, because I'm in a real class right now, I'm not going to ask a question, but well, maybe I should. Maybe I should go in here and what is your verification spot? And I'll make it do so ask, and then see what it looks like in the stream. There we go. This is what it looks like in the stream. I see who's completed and who has not completed it. When it's due, and if I click these three dots right here, I can move it to the top if it has been bumped down by something else. I can edit it or delete it. I can add a class comment. I could type, what Caribbean would you like to visit? Click on that. You can see that I misspelled it. And now I can post. And now it has a comment with the question. So on the student side, they will actually come in here and click on this to answer it. In the situation, I clicked on it. It tells me who has not done it. If I wanted they answered, I would be able to see it here and click on name, and it would under the done section. I'll notice over here that I can give them a grade. Now, one thing that I'm not sure why they do this is it's points. Let me just add a grade here. Let's use, I guess in the question you can only have 100 points or ungraded. I'll tell it it's an ungraded. How I do, I notice that I can give it a grade or ungraded. Let me give it a grade so that I can do this part. Let's not change that. Maybe I type in the point value. So I could type it in. That, y'all, that's new. You used to not be able to do that. It used to have just like 10 points, 50 points, 100 points. It was very set. So evidently they changed that, mainly because probably people complained about it. Now, when given a grade, notice it says not returned. It's like in a regular classroom, a kid finishes a test or a quiz or whatever, and they turn it into you. The only way that they're going to know their grade is when you return it back to them. So what you have to do in Google Docs Google Classroom, in order for them to see their grade, you have to click the return button. Once you do that, it goes right back to the student and says that your stream has been updated, and beside that particular question, they will see their grade. Nobody else sees their grade, but they see their grade. Also is the way it happens when you give an assignment. So you also have access to seeing who's doing what, when they're doing it, and how they're doing it. I'm going to click on this arrow to the top left, and it will take me back to the stream. Corner, I'm going to click, and the next thing is an assignment I wanted to show you. You're going to notice that anytime you do a question, an assignment, or those things, you have due dates. If you do an announcement, there is no due date, but you still have the same 4 options at the bottom. Attach a Google Drive document, attach a YouTube video, or link. And you still have the option to give particular classes. Now, this one, I want to make an assignment. No, I'm ready for a vacation. Everything about vacations. So I'm going to make this due tomorrow. Google Drive. I actually created a document, and you want to do this ahead of time. If it's a document that you want to give them as an assignment, I recommend that you go ahead and create a document. Give a name that you give it. If it's a book review, you call it book review 1 or whatever. Because I can now go to my Google Drive and I can choose that document and click Add. And notice what we have here. You can view the file. Click on the pull-down menu. They can edit the file. Now notice it says Edit File, View File. Guess what that's going to mean? Everybody can see the same file, or everybody can edit the same file. In them to do individualized work, what you want to choose. You want to choose Make a Copy for each student. And when I choose that, what happens is Google Classroom distributes that document individually to students. And the file name, it has the name that you gave it, and then it has the student's name. It's all that file management for you. Prior to Google Classroom, and those of us that are on the outside and can't use a Google Apps for Education account, you still have to do things like only link for view only, and then the person that's viewing it, if they want it, they can go to File, Make a Copy in Google Docs. So this eliminates the students renaming files. It eliminates them from being able to make up the stuff that you have in there that you want everyone to see. Now choose this, and I'm going to choose that classroom also. I have 2 classes selected. I click Assign. And it took a couple seconds or so to create an assignment because I did say for all students. And now I have a document that I've attached that is the assignment. So I'm going to click on this. This assignment is an example of something that can be assigned in Google Classroom. Describe the best vacation ever. Use vocabulary words from this week throughout your description. Now, what the students are going to see is the same exception of, hello, Stan. Up to my corner, and I saw Stan. So what they're going to see also is up here in the top right corner where you see comments and the share button, they're going to have a turn in button. Once you click that turn in button, it'll open and verify with them that that is actually what they want to do. And then the thing they need to do or will do is click one more button that says turn in. And how in my classroom this changes. It changes from in the numbers. And so that's how I know who's completed it and who hasn't. Now, the really nice thing about that, other than it distributing all that to the students with a click, is that you as a teacher can go in and as long as you graded the assignment, you go in and you can leave comments for the student. You read their work, you can click insert comment just like you would on a normal. And the way you do that is I might want to go in here and, hey, I like what you put in here, but I'll use, oops, I want to insert comment. I'm not seeing your vocabulary words being used. And if I click comment, that student will have that comment on the document that they're working on. And you can coach them throughout the assignment, and it just adds another dimension because they get home at night, you could be at home at night, or vice versa, whatever. And and they're able to see your comments and know what they change and how they need to change it. I had this when I was doing research papers in high school. It's so nice for a teacher to be able to give me some information before I printed that thing out or typed it out when I was in high school. Ugh, and have to retype a whole page because I made a mistake. So this adds another dimension to being able to share Google Docs and things. Now, look, guys, y'all got to ask me some questions. They got questions for me so far.
Questions, people, perfect time to ask. Don't forget you can raise your hand and also give us a smiley face. Let us know that you're following along, that you like what you're hearing. You can see chat panel.
That's too slow. To me. You got good jokes.
Are you out there? Thank you. Thanks, Kimberly. We're Ethan. Are you still responsive, Janet?
Yay! I'm glad to know they're breathing.
They're breathing, and they can give us a smiley face also. Thank you, guys.
I'll ask you a question. Do students need their own Gmail account to use this? That would be a yes. But if you are, the only way you can use it is if you are a Google Apps for Education system. And if the case, then your system administrator, IT administrators, will give them their account. So part of the Google Apps for Education, and it's all free. So they do need their own Gmail account that's part of your Google Apps for Education account.
Your question also.
Yes, the students receive a notification when an assignment is sent out on their stream. So they kind of have to, be in the stream, or you can send emails to everybody. The best part. I think this is just one of the best things that anybody has ever done for education. What I've just shown you is the nuts and bolts of this. Now, another thing that I think, let's see, I don't think I covered it. Let me go here. Co-teach with somebody. So in the stream of the classroom, on the About tab, and where it has you listed, you can invite a teacher to be a co-teacher with you. Now, class teachers, this, by the way, is another thing that needs to be set up by your IT folks. If you go into here and you go into groups or contacts and you can't find anybody, they have to actually set those groups up in the IT department. Pretty good, Jornay. I'm going to just read this. To ensure students and teachers get an email notification for certain activities in classroom, for example, a new assignment is posted or they are mentioned in a comment, Google Apps administrator needs to add the classroom.google.com domain to the Google Admin Console settings. Add domain allows emails and, in turn, email notifications to be delivered from the classroom domain. Good job. Classroom help. Speaking of help, I got all kinds of things to share with you. So if you were to co-teach with a teacher back over here, you would click Invite Teacher, and you would invite them, and right here, the way I have their set up is Google Classroom Teachers. I could go in here and check the box and click Next and invite that teacher to be a co-teacher with me in a class. So, one other thing I wanted to show you, in the stream here, say that I go down here that I posted way back when, and I want to go back and review again. I'm going to I hope I'm not making you sick by scrolling too fast. All right, let's say that I did this. It says 15 best add-ons for Google Drive by the Cool Cat Teacher. And Cool Cat Teacher is a really good teacher to follow on Twitter and so forth. But I did this on December 3rd, 2015. Something I want to move up. I click on these three dots on the right side, and I can move it to the top. And as I do that, while it's back at the top, and I want to go back and highlight. The kids, I can't find it, blah, blah, blah. Well, move it to the top, and they'll all be able to see it. Now, on the Student tab would be 92. I'm frozen. On that tab, let's say that I want to check a box or two. My actions are I can remove students from here, I email the students from here, and can mute the students. Now, if I choose mute, here's what happens. They can't work, other students won't see it. They can't reply to classmates' work, and they can't comment or post. Now, tell me in the chat box how you think this would work. Why would we want to mute a student? It's chat box. Tell me why I might want to mute some students or a student. Rachel, you're so good. Look at how you put it. Not being a good digital citizen. Instead of saying they were being just snots, she made it sound so nice. Yes, to allow students an opportunity to participate. Maybe you have somebody that's just like doing anything, is the only one that's talking. I might want to mute them. One student may monopolize the conversation, goofing off. Yes, use this for discipline. If they are doing a good digital citizenship and they are saying inappropriate things to students, then that's when you can mute that student and say, you're muted for a week because they don't know how to behave. That's a really nice thing you can do. So I'm going to click cancel because I don't think those teachers would appreciate me muting them. I'm paying attention. And it's awesome. All right. That's about it really, you get a class, you use it for managing your class, managing your files and assignments. And now I'm going to offer to you a document that I have created right here. It's a Google Classroom Resources. I've got a link to Google Help. Somebody went in ThingLink and really did a neat thing with the Google Classroom with little links and things that, let's see if I can pull that up real quick. There. If you're familiar with ThingLink, it's really a neat thing. Neat thing. So basically, this is a screenshot. And whoever did this went in and created all overs. There are two streams, announcements and assignments, of students with their email addresses, tabs for information, blah, blah, blah. This is a video. There, this is a graphic that's attached here so that you can see what that looks like. So that is the one linked on there. See. For generation. Now, link to this document, I actually created a shortened URL for it, and I copy that, and I will put it in the chat. Is the link that you want to click on, and it will take you to this document. Has a few links that I think are good for Google Classroom. The Google Classroom help, by the way, is by Google, and as you see, you can go in here, and it just has everything in here. It has a section for teachers. This is the one I think you will be most interested in. Create and manage classes, create and grade student work, communicate with students, and troubleshooting. And since you're going to need your students to become familiar, they need to know how to manage classes and their work. And it's also very helpful. So Google Classroom help is on this thought I thought was pretty cool. 60 smarter ways to use Google Classroom smarter. Old. However, it's still a few things there listed you can have for your reading time when you're bored here and you think you might want to learn that. Okie dokie. This one here is a classroom cheat sheet. Here, this is one of my favorites. This is created by Jennifer Jenkins, Google Education Trainer and Digital Learning Coach at Linfield Public Schools, which I know that's in the United States somewhere, or at least I think it is. She went through and really did a nice job of PDF file. And she did everything and giving explanations for everything. So that is also a link in the document. And then the last one here that I have is Shake Up Learning Guide. I also love Shake Up Learning. And this is the teacher's guide to Google Classroom. I just found it on the web. She Bell is the lady that created this. Notice it says it's a single user only, so you can get it, but don't do anything else with it. I just read that, and I might be in violation of copyright right there. Anyway, here it is. And if I tell me violation of copyright after I read through this, then I will delete it from that document. So this page is long of stuff you can read about Google Classroom. Aren't you excited now? So you know what kind of questions you guys might have at this point. Things you need to know, or like to know, or just popped in your head. Says she has a teacher that says students can't see the comments she leaves until the document is returned. Then the student would make the change and resubmit. Yeah, that is true. If you have to return, but you don't grade it. If you grade the document before you return it, the students can't go back and resubmit. Or if you leave it ungraded and return it back with comments, then they can see it and change it. But it is straightforward. They've done a very good job at making this simple and streamlined, and the curve is not very sharp at all when it comes to doing this. It's a matter of getting in there and doing it. Any questions? Thank you. Anything I left out that some of you already know. I always learn something when I'm teaching. We got mouse. Me.
Always make me laugh.
Thanks, Kimberly.
Extension, an app that you can add.
I forgot to tell them about that. There's actually several, and Carol sent one out just a few minutes, well, right before we started. But if you're using Google Chrome, which I highly recommend with Google Classroom and anything else Google, they're made to work with each other. Internet Explorer is probably the worst. Firefox is better than Internet Explorer, which pretty much anything could be better than that right now. But Google Chrome works best, and they have extensions and add-ons that you can use. And if I go in here to my add-on, my extensions, and I had already used before. I must have done away with it for now. But if I get extensions, and I went through that pretty quick, I'm sorry. Top corner on Chrome, there are 3 lines. You click on it, and to settings, and when settings, not settings, I just told an untruth. You click on the 3 lines, you go down to more tools, and the extensions, and it brings you to the extensions that you are using. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can click on Get More Extensions, and it takes you to the Chrome store. Search box, Google Classroom. And the first little 3 here are going to be apps. There that says Share to Classroom. And this particular one will put an icon in your toolbar. If there's anything that you find while you're online that you would like to share with your class in Classroom, you click on it, and it's very, very simple to say something to them immediately. I recommend this too. I did have it in my Chrome, but obviously I cleaned out last week to make room for stuff. You'll be able to see that this is really nice. So when I click Add to Chrome, go through and I click Add Extension. In a few seconds, once we sign in again, sign in to yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to switch. This is another thing about using multiple accounts. It's my tangent that I didn't really mean to go on. Actually signed in as both people, but I don't want to link any data. I just want to go where I am. Here is where it resides, and I click here and click Share to Classroom. And eventually, join classes. You actually just choose the class you want to share it to and share it. It's no deal. It's really to stop that for now because we could get wrapped up in that for quite some time. And get out of Chrome Store. Got it. All right, so here's her cheat sheet. I tell you what I'll do. I will click on that and add it to the here that I already have started. Father's cheat sheet. And now on yours too. Where it gives you instructions on how to do all that. There you go. Push the students, create an assignment, ask a question, and make an announcement. Just the things you have before, and you're able to straight from the classroom.
Did you put in the chat box the presentation?
Put a link right here to the document where I have all my link right here.
I'm saying, were you trying to share? Were you going to share that presentation, or just this document? A link to this document?
I did. It's right here. It's the goo.gl. Back a little bit.
We can see it.
That box.
Oh, I'll find it.
Well, I can put it on here also. Kind of weird to put it here, the document. See it there now? And it is case sensitive, guys. That is a number 0, the letter O. And the tell is O's are more rounded and zeros are more oblong.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, guys, any other questions for Janet? Or have a resource that you want to share, please do so at this time. You can put it in the chat box. We thank you all for participating with us today in our webinar in Google Classroom. You are repeaters, and we appreciate you attending these once a month.
I'm putting my email address in. You can email me if you have questions. You can also go to the Alabama Technology in Motion website, which is ATIM.us. And there you can click on your Service Center, and it will take you directly to your Technology in Motion specialist information. Now, that's to make it look easy. And it really is, I promise. I wouldn't just say that. There are some things that I can make look easy that aren't very easy. Thank you, Stan.
If you would like to receive credit for this webinar, please go to Talkable STIPD, register, and myself or Sherry will go in and grant you credit for participating. If you were watching this with someone else, please make sure your name was added in the chat box so I can check you off. Thank you, and I'm going to put the ATIM session title number again in the chat box. Thank you for participating, guys. Have a great day.
You go away. Teacher Appreciation.
Yes, Teacher Appreciation Week.
Because we do appreciate you. As a matter of fact, I appreciate you so much. I got to go and grab this link to the video on Facebook that somebody shared with me, and I put on mine. And I will go there somehow. There with you. I need this link. Anyway, I can't get it. Sorry.
Aw.
I need to link that video.
And that she has registered a few of you already in STIPD. So if you go in and say you've already been registered, Sherry Hayes has already done that while she was attending the webinar. Thank you, Sherry. Any other questions? Thank you guys for attending. You have a great day. And thanks to all the Alabama Technology in Motion specialists who were able to attend today.